got our audio issues started just in time. Won't do the intro for the third time. Of course, we're underway here. Clarence take the opening clearance. A bit of an air swing there from Keegan Ryan, though. Allows Norton in for North Hobart. Daly on the ball. He swings one up towards half forward. Out on the lead there is Spencer White. Had some support there in the form of Hilda. He's dispossessed by Harvey Hurd. Off towards the line. Gathered by White. He gets coat-hanged. High tackle there. Free kick going the way of Clarence at half back. So, Keegan Wiley driving it, but straight to the opposition. Hobart, take over. They'll send it up over the head of Jackson. White there, pitches in front of him, couldn't quite gather, taken away by Mitch Anderton. Retreats, Leafhever tackling dearly. The pressure coming here from North Hobart, and they force the turnover. Picked up by Jackson, sends them deep inside the forward 50. The ball always favouring Liam Howard, though, and he takes the relieving mark. Took it quickly, moved it off to Ryan. Ball's boom at half back, and he drives one down the line. And the mark is taken there on the half back flank. Clarence looking to build here. Really drives them down the line. Again, doesn't quite find the target. Through the hands there of Colin Stephenson, and now to play for a throw in. The umpire to toss it back into play. Belted out of there by Colin Garland doing the ruck work. Back into the Clarence side today. Tom Murrell in there for Clarence. He's in this week trying to make an impact. Like a free kick there going the way of the Roos, and has indeed been plucked. So an opportunity to send the ball inside the forward 50 here. Demons drop numbers back here, trying to clog up the space. Gussie Norton just sitting in the hole. They drive it to the forward pocket looking for Holmes, who's forced to play defender, and he spoils out of bounds for a throw in. So Clarence probing early here, looking for the first score of the afternoon. Big clash here in the race for top four. Must-win game for the Demons, you suspect, if they want to play finals. Toss back in. Walker doing the ruck work. Bounced over all heads to Daly. He just tried a little finesse kick, found his target, and they're out now. Finlay poke at half back. Dominic White, sorry, he drives them down the line towards McCulloch, who takes a nice mark. And quickly moves into the middle looking for Daly, backing back, and he takes the mark and sends them inside forward 50. Has a few options, goes to the square, looking towards White, just buffering it out of position though. Ball hits the deck, Leafhever applies the tackle. The free kick's been paid though. A high contact free going the way of the Roos. That will relieve the pressure. So reload from fullback, a real intent about both sides with their ball movement early on this one, really looking to keep it moving at speed. Too much stopping and propping. That one intercepted there by Hilda. Clarence will look to take it away through Preshaw, gathers, swing the handball out, and now Paprotny sends it along the other side to Jared Harper. He sends it back to Sam Green. Green drives them down the line, looking towards Garland. Had 3 to beat. Did pretty well in the end to force a throw in. So half-forward stoppage opportunity. End to end through the opening moments. No score to speak of. Calling the action for you here on the TSL live stream. Don't think any of the Pregame quite got through the audio, but that's all in time. Garland chops it down. That's going to be another high contact free kick. This one going the way of Wiley. Sends them deep inside the forward 50. It's a lovely kick, almost marked there by Loams. Couldn't gather, snaps towards the goal line. Getting a hand back there was Stephenson, and through for the game's first score. Behind the way of the Roos. Intercept mark taken by Anderton. Gets it moving quickly to Preshaw. Have an option in the corridor, so forced to go wide. Good mark taken there by Keegan Ryan. He turns and goes. He sends it towards goal. It's drifting. Garland in the pocket. Just over his head. Pounds on the full. Again, the intent on both sides to move the ball at speed. Walker at fullback here for the Demons. Here's defensive 50 with a booming but ill-directed kick, and it's out of bounds on the full. Right back to the Roos will the ball go. See too much wind about there that would be impacting things this afternoon. Pretty good conditions for football, rather overcast. Blue skies over the city, so hopefully the rain stays away. Wild weather around the state this afternoon. This one pitched in short there to Baxter Norton, who takes the mark. There's a few leads presenting, ignores them, then drives one into the pocket looking for a Loams. It pitches and rolls out of bounds for a throw in. So Clarence doing the bulk of the attacking early on here. Just the one behind to speak of, though. That's back into play. Holmes quite get it. Norton crashing through, couldn't gather. Handball out from Norton of North Hobart. The Demons clear defensive 50. High into the air it goes. Doesn't quite take it. Handball back there to Wiley. Clever little flick on there, finds Harper. Harper now trying to charge through some traffic. Handed it off to Norton. Norton goes looking for Anderton. The spoil arriving from Daly, but Norton's still got a hold of the football. He pierces one in short. He finds a marking target inside the forward 50. Daniel Cooney, the man for Clarence here. We'll go back and look to kick the first goal of the afternoon. Wheels sells a little candy, gets around one, and then misses the shot. Well, I think he was quite far out to necessitate driving past the man on the mark. It was pretty sleek, unfortunately. Threw a little bit of pressure, impacted his next shot. So just a minor score again. Clarence with two behinds. That's the cleanest kick from Norton exiting the goal square there, but they work it up the line there to Keeling. Goes back to Norton. That's a better kick. Here's one. He finds a marking target in Sam Wright. Right. For Norton again, just over his head. The boundary line is out ahead of Paprotny. Thrown in. Side of centre wing here. Back into the team, doing the rough work here against Monks. Driven deep by Cleaver. Can he find a marking target? It's out the back. McCulloch's there. It's socked off the ground by Bingham. And he gets the opening goal of the afternoon for the Demons. Runs onto it. Didn't bother picking it up. Just smashed it through on the right. Get the ball in deep and good things happen. First blood there for the Demons. One straight six. Leading Clarence two behinds. The first real threatening moment attack. Just got out the back there, and the speed of Bingham winning out once it hit the deck there. And the Demons get the first of the afternoon on what is a pretty important afternoon for them. They need the 4 points here. They're going to factor in the finals race. A pretty interesting finals race developing with Lauderdale very much in the mix. Clarence currently holding on to fourth spot by just a game from both Lauderdale and North Hobart. The Demons, though, have played an extra game, so can't afford to fall 2 games plus that game in hand behind. Back to the middle. Handball out there from Howlett. Harper shrugged off one tackle. Drew a little high contact in the end. The free kick paid his way. Harper. He's just going to hold up here for a minute as Monks gets looked at. And Howard his way off. He's replaced by Harvey Hurd. Blood rule here. Monks working out all right for the Demons because they've been able to roll back the entire team pretty much into defensive 50 here. Structure up pretty well behind the ball. It's a sea of bodies Harper's going to have to navigate. He Sends it wide into the pocket. Garland in a wrestling match. Couldn't take front position. Umpire's giving him a free kick for a hold though. Well, seemed like 6 to 1, half dozen the other to me, but the free kick goes the way of Garland. And he'll get the opportunity to hook Clarence back ahead here. A big battle that one this afternoon. Garland returning to this Clarence team. You know how dangerous he can be. He hangs that one near side. Minor score only, so Clarence really taking advantage of some early opportunities here. 3 straight behinds. Dalton had plenty of it early. That one pitches just in front though, his teammate, and then spears one across the face. Awkward for Campbell. He did all right with it in the end. So from true full-back. This one wide, White's there, Garland reaching over the top. Norton burrowing in. Tackle laid there by Garland in the end. Shrugging him off was Bradley Young. Not an easy man to do that to Colin Garland. He tossed up inside 450. Noah Holmes this time doing the ruck. Pre-short, couldn't quite collect cleanly. White coming through. Ball's good. Umpire calls for it once more. With the size advantage in the ruck, wins it down. Some lovely work there from Howlett. Works its way through here to Murrell. Couldn't gather cleanly though. Blasted on out of there by Jackson. McCulloch comes from 3 deep and just gives a little ear massage there to Bealey. That'll be a free kick in the way of the Roos. Drove it straight into McCulloch, the man on the mark. Get a second crack at it. Coming back in support was Norton. Green's kick also charged down. He flicks it to the outside and Harvey Hurd. He finally gets an advance, sends him inside 450, but parked behind the ball was Jackson. Jackson spears a short one to Sam Wright. Switching up the field here with a slight wind advantage as this one is really nicely plucked back there by Howard. Good strength to beat McCulloch. Not an easy man to beat in the air there. Into the middle for Howlett. Howlett going backwards to Bealey. Bealey sending it wide. That's a lovely kick for Cooney. Cooney now. Can he complete the chain here? It was great ball movement. He couldn't quite find a Loams though. Loams gathers in the pocket, running out of room. Flick back inside, but plenty of demons there. No obvious option, so they go by hand and they'll run it out of defence now. Wright forced to kick. And somehow found his one-man Leafeber in between 3 Roos. Superb stuff that. Leafeber now sending the demons deep, looking for Spencer White. A grappling match there. It pitches towards the pocket. And White does well just to get it out of play. Clarence having the extra bodies around the ball. So nice work there. A lovely kick from Sam Wright coming out of defence. Little margin for error. Found Leafeber nicely. So the Demons back on the attack here, holding sway 6 to 3 despite Clarence having the better of the opening quarter of an hour here. Green thumped it down, Norton trying to dive in, flick down there by Preshaw. Now Green gets his kick away, floats out the back, leading back in the race is Hasty. Hasty ducked underneath the tackle, did it well, back inside there to Poke. Poke is run down, that's got to be holding the ball. No, it's in the back. Stiff. Poke gets the free kick. Fiddle Poke drives the Demons forward. Big contest off the hands of White. Burrow in. The umpire will call for it. Toss back up. Doing the ruck work. That's going anywhere. Umpire again calling for it. Monks has reappeared on the sideline. Seems to be fine. Some moving repairs there. Green and Jackson. Jackson cleverly flicked it over the top looking for Tilbury. Trying to escape. Able to do so. Free kick paid. Norton, the recipient. Analysed, dicey kick, invited danger. Fortunately bounced straight to Howley, picks it up and drives them over the top. Can he get it out the back here? Great mark, Bryce Alones. It's wide open in front of him. They're doing a good job to hold him up and not give away 50 there. Was Campbell, and then charged down the kick. They made a bit of a mess of that, but able to follow up. Borsboo might be able to recover it. Then he got crunched. Right, flicks it back to Norton. Norton back to Campbell. Campbell went back to the outside. Treading. Oh, that's going to be holding the football. Has to be. Yep, another one paid. So they recover the football. Leafella working hard for the Demons. Wins it back. Absolutely blasted out of there. Green Park behind the ball. White comes from behind and he thumps it away. Another throw in on centre wing. So just the one goal to show through the opening 16 minutes, but far from a doubt. Defensive contest has been pretty end to end. It's just neither side really able to connect with their targets inside the 450. Clarence certainly shading things, but 3 points in arrears so far. Jackson and Green in the ruck. Jackson winning that one down boundary side. Out after it was McGee. Clarence able to reload from half back. Searching off high fly there. Couldn't quite bring it down. Spins out the back, Daly lurking. They'll work it through Hasty. And they chip it inside. Slow things down. Kellen Stephenson. Long kick to half forward. Leafever the target. White from behind. Off hands for a throw in once more. Both teams are playing fairly wide though, it must be said. The throw ins as a result. Kieran Howlett having to go play ball retrieval. Out of the ruck nicely and then launched deep. It's carrying, but didn't quite have the accuracy. Nick Jackson got plenty of perches on that ball. The accuracy though, 1-1-7. They extend their lead to 4 points. Wiley, fullback, drives one to Green. Snap free and half back. He goes back inside. That was risky. Turned it over. Gathered there by Hasty. He in turn was collected. And then sent wide, but Clarence had 2 free men. Anderton out the back. This is opening up nicely. It's a wide open forward 50. His kick over the top wasn't the best one. It can still work because they've got the extra, but the handball went straight to White. White handballs it over the top to Walker. He's pressured by Anderton. Handball to Norton. And they somehow escape here, the Demons. Clarence not taking full advantage. Oh, well done, Norton to win it back. Combining nicely there with Anderton. Holmes a little clumsy, couldn't gather it, and Hasty will be able to charge away off halfback for the Demons. Delayed the handball, flicked it over the top to White. Tried to return to Hasty, set him a task. Did well to punch it, but he punched it straight to Howlett. Howlett turning back inside. Into the corridor he goes. Almost pre-shore, worked it out to Anderton. His handball is then gathered by Keeling, who's caught. He's a scrappy old couple of passages of play here. Turnover after turnover after turnover at the moment. Coaches will be tearing their hair out watching this, I reckon. But he tossed it back up. Holmes just deals with Jackson, pumps it deep, looking for a Loams at the back. Campbell in there. Well, he might have had his jumper grabbed, and indeed that's what the umpire saw. Free kick going the way of the Demons. Lots of turnovers, lots of free kicks. Can't fault the intent. The execution just slightly off from both these sides so far. Sandrick at halfback. Sandrick swinging it wide. Contest there. Clarence looked to take it away. Leafever. Good at ground level, was clean. Got it back to Sandrick. Turning sharply right, but his kick not a good one. Again, Clarence, the turnover. They'll square it up to Harper. They do have the extra out here on this flank. They look to use it. Back to Norton, normally a good user. And that is no exception. Finally, some clean entry inside the forward 50. Beautiful kick there. And an opportunity here for Keegan Ryan to go back and put Clarence ahead. The game had just been crying out for a bit of that type of ball use going inside the forward 50. Baxter Norton, the one to deliver. So as we tick into red time in the first quarter, Keegan Ryan looking for the Roos first of the afternoon. He'll kick from just inside the 50 arc. He sends it on its way. It's across the face. Won't have the journey. Stays in place. Stephenson gathers it. Screws a kick outside defensive 50 where it's gathered by Payne. Back inside. Finesse. Kick to Sandra. Couldn't quite mark. And Harper regathers for the Roos. They send it deep inside forward 50. Plenty of tall timber there. Through the hands of Norton. Ryan got it, but he was charged down there by Bingham. And the man who has the lone goal of the quarter thus far, making a good saving tackle for his side at the other end of the pitch. Monk's back into the ruck up against Green. Either decisively fell the way of Ryan. His kick charged down by Sandrick. Follow-up pressure was good. Handball out the back to Jackson. Great effort there, coming in to apply some pressure by McGee. Flicked over the top by White. Ryan brought down from behind by Sandrick. Another saving tackle made. Jack Sandrick standing tall there. Norton in his own wide. He'll instead go looking for McCulloch, who's outnumbered 3-1. Not much he could do there. Easy mark for Wiley. Even numbers. There's another turnover. This one straight to White, and even the usually reliable Keegan Wiley missing targets. Down to conditions. The players that excuse. Pretty good out there. Under pressure, Bingham, but he skipped through. Then lost his footing. Got the handball back to White. White gets his kick into the forward 50. Leaf Hammer. Couldn't quite bring it down. Wiley first to it, and McCulloch bumps him over. It was a little push, it was. Fair enough decision there. Didn't seem like the arms were extended by McCulloch. The body up and seen across the line, instead pushed and gives Clarence the bailout, although given the way teams have possessed the ball so far, might have it back in a moment. Riley drives it looking for Holmes, the spoil scum. Play for a throw in. 22.5 minutes gone, just the one goal so far. Josh Bingham as the Demons ahead. That's the play, Clarence. They probably should be ahead in this game. They've struggled. Marks inside the 450 though. Jackson takes it out of the ruck. Holmes claims him. Callan Daly onto it in a flash. Screws an ugly looking kick into space. Pitches awkwardly and bounces right into the path of McCulloch. He couldn't quite gather the pressure from Fisher. Handball over the top. Paprotny. Wiley just had to wait under that, and then bang, White claimed him. We'll keep a hold of the ball and we'll have a stoppage at half forward. Holmes tapping down, right nicely to Harper. Harper sweeps the handball over the top for Murrell. Murrell with his ball over, and now they're inside the forward 50. That's a beautiful kick, and Holmes takes the mark. He's got Garland on his own centrally. That's where he heads, Colin Garland. And finally, a good mark inside scoring distance here. An opportunity to take the lead. Clarence, it's been hard work. Some good ball use there, and Garland should be able to go back and put his side ahead of this game. 25 out directly in front. He drives it through, and Garland has the Roos first of the afternoon. 1-3-9. They lead North Hobart for 1-1-7. It had been coming. Pretty unlikely they were going to go goalless in the first term, given the number of inside 50s they've had. Garland does the business. Not much Bailey Walker could do there. Just good square up kick from the Loams. The Roos have the lead. Grey clouds just starting to drift overhead. The lights now on here, so conditions could certainly worsen. tackle, dispossessed, ball spilled out. Falls forward by Wright through the hands of Hurd into the pocket, onto his Hasty. And you gather here Hasty can, but Hurd was onto him. Walks him over the line. Demons looking to recapture their lead before time side. We've gone 25 minutes. Can't imagine it's going to be the longest quarter with just the 2 goals. Jackson v Green. Leafheber was good, got the handball off to Wright, stabbing to the goal line. Doing well was Howard. No, not too well. He grabbed the jumper. And this will make it a certain goal for Jack McCulloch. Oh, it argues the point. But McCulloch's going to go back from point blank range and put through the Demons' second of the afternoon. He does, no problems whatsoever. Jack McCulloch drives it through. It's North Hobart 2-1-13. Back in front here by 4 points in the shadows of quarter time. Last kick just falling short. It was in disbelief. The 2-on-1, not the type of free kicks you want to be giving away. Bracketing him. Corresponding jumper grab. Back to the middle we go. 4-point advantage. Monks, Green, Rice. Handballs it back to Daly. Daly stands it up. Floating kick. Ryan going back, didn't take the mark. To Monks, tumbles the kick inside 450. Hasty was working the first two at Ryan, and they'll shift it across here. Corey Lovell takes it at half back. Lovell sends it in the Holmes direction. Might float over his head, it does. At the back, Campbell is immediately taken down there by Preshaw. Sandrick flicks it inside to Norton. Norton to Hasty. Hasty turns and goes. He sends him inside the 450. It's a great kick. He finds a looking target there. Good ball movement. Him again, and kicked first of the afternoon. Josh Hilder, in fact, kicked from 40 outs. The easiest kick here will probably give us a good indication of conditions. It does seem to kick a little. The idea here is to drive one, it's floating across the face. It's not a problem, accuracy is. Hobart move on to 2-2. 5-point lead. So it can't be far away is Wiley. Fullback. Using boot. Good mark taken by Loans. Ball inside and then chipped into the corridor. Good ball movement there to Whitelaw. Look to execute the switch. Green was out on the wing on his own. He goes back inside to Anderson, put him under pressure from Leafheber, but he got it back to Green. Still got the loose man, they use him. Lovell, handballing to Hurd. Hurd sends him inside the forward 50. The big man fly, no one can take it. Handball out to Norton. Garland gets him, he just got away in time. Thrown in. Forward 50 stoppage. Clarence capture the lead before the siren. Surprised at how long it was gone, really. The lack of goals, Garland, the double move, flick over the top to find a target, and there is the siren. So, quarter time here. Can't fault the endeavour of either of these sides, but the execution has been a little off at times with the foot skills. It's North Hobart holding sway. 2-2-14 to Clarence 1-3-9. It's been a tight battle, all as well for an entertaining afternoon here. All-important game in the race for finals. So quarter time, North Hobart 2-2-14. Clarence at 1-3-9. Be back shortly with quarter number 2. Back for quarter number 2 here at North Hobart. It's the home side leading by 5 points after the first term. Pretty intriguing battle developing, a scrappy contest to be sure, but plenty of intent from both sides. The defensive pressure has been there. The intent to move the ball quickly has been there. The execution's just been a little bit off so far, but certainly big stakes here in the race for finals. Real 8-point game, this one. Demons, you fancy, needing to win this one to keep those hopes alive. So Monks in the ruck up against Green as we get ready for quarter number 2. And we're underway. The ball is sent towards half forward, running onto it. White Green applying the pressure, dispossesses him. Fell to Anderton on the left. He goes looking for Holmes, and he finds him on the lead. Big Noah. It'll be a tough kick from this pocket, though. An opportunity for an immediate strike here to start the second term for Clarence. They look to get back in front. And Noah Holmes. From 40, 45. Bit of an angle. He goes back. Looks pretty good. Lovely kick that from Noah Holmes. That's wonderful stuff. And he gives Clarence the lead back. They get the first goal of the opening quarter inside the opening minute. That was a lovely kick from Holmes. An easy position. Bit of wind out there, not too much, but he leant back and drove that through majestically. So Clarence out by a point. The perfect start to quarter number 2 for them. Noah Holmes getting on the scoreboard. Delivery and an even better finish. Clarence by a point. Monks and Green. Green comes over the top, but he rucked it straight down there to Tilbury, who just blasts the Demons inside the forward 50. Bounced over the top. Wright was there. They all watched it bounce. Eventually gathered by Beerley. He was tackled. Socked off the ground. Jackson bundles it home. Scrappy stuff, but Jackson able to finish. And the immediate response from the Demons. So after a first quarter, let's saw just the 3 goals. We have 2 in the opening 2 minutes here to start the second. Clarence go forward immediately, score a goal. The Demons take it right out of the middle. Tilbury pumped them in deep, a bit of a chaos ball. It bounced, and in the end, bounced nicely for the Demons. A couple of socket efforts, and there is the third goal of the afternoon. Plays 15, back to the middle. Monks wins this one down, gets another clearance. Could we have another quick goal here? Lee Faber gathers, just got the handball away in time. Unable to gather though, was healed up. Cleared out a defensive 50. Monks parked underneath this one, able to take it. We'll send the Demons forward once more. Sends them deep. Spoil came on McCulloch just in the nick of time. Gathered by Anderton. Daly trying to get through the contest. Sent the handball out to Borsboom. Borsboom checked back inside and on his left and squares it across to Green. Green chipping short, setting a bit of a task there for Harry Fisher, and made a bit of a mess of that. And the scrappiness continues. We throw in inside the forward 50. You're going to miss long, not short, probably. What do you want to be doing there? Just putting the pressure back on themselves. Jackson in the ruck. Second attempt, slapped it away. And a tripping free kick going the way of the Roos. Long up towards the wing, but parked behind the football was Monks. Reached up and took it. Monks Sends them back towards the half-forward line through the hands of Jackson. White couldn't quite gather, then applies a tackle. Stoppage on the pain of 50. White got rid of his opposing ruckman, got the kick away. Norton just chips one across and immediately playing on Harper, he smashes it on out of there. The spiral, handball back inside, gathered by Walker. Walker screws a kick around the corner, back up towards half forward. Bealey with a thumping spoil from behind. Howland applying some pressure. Another stoppage. North Hobart holding sway by 5 points. Bit of an arm wrestle here so far. Clarence will look to take the clearance back inside there to Paprotny. Flick it back outside and then chips it short to Green, who was all on his own at half back. Green gets them moving quickly, kicks it right into the bullseye. Just caught the wind a little bit. Ryan working his way back to the ball. Anderton coming through, just towed off the ground, really intelligent in the end. It found its way to Murrell, who drives him to Garland all on his own. And Garland not content with that, wants to try and milk a 50. But the umpire says, no, you can go back from 15, Colin. It shouldn't be a problem. As the skies darken here, it's been a pretty scrappy old game already. I think it might get scrappier if the rain hits. So Colin Garland for his second of the afternoon to restore Clarence's lead here. Shouldn't miss from 20 out. And he doesn't. He drives it through. And Clarence get their third of the afternoon. 3-3 plays 3-2. Neither team able to find a decisive break in this one yet. Tight battle developing through the corridor. Came the ruse there. Led to the opportunity. And if you can get the ball moving with speed to Garland in those type of situations, there's not a whole lot that can be done to stop him. Such a dominant player. So Monks and Green resume their battle in the middle. Green won that one down, though not decisively. Norton first to it, flicked the handball out to Howlett. Howlett shifting back inside and then goes looking for Holmes, floated over his head. Campbell taking a good relieving mark. Campbell just pitching one short. Monks couldn't quite complete it. Preshaw. Harper back to Norton under pressure. Got his handball back over his head. Was a good one in the end. Found Preshaw. Preshaw returned to Norton. He got driven from behind. Then play continues. It's gathered there, I think, by Hurd, who slams it on the boot. It was Murrell, in fact. And a big scrap is developing meanwhile. Will be brought back for a free kick, I think. Looking at the umpires adjudicating this one. So Murrell will go back and kick from about 20 out. Well, Flyers interested in kicking off at half forward, then see what's happening with the free kick. In the end, Murrell will get the free. He'll go back with a pretty gettable opportunity. He was already celebrating what he thought was a goal, but it was brought back, but he'll get the opportunity to get one anyway. So to extend Clarence's lead to 7 points, Tom Murrell. Slight angle, but from 25 out shouldn't be too much of a problem. The consecutive goals here for the Roos. He's got it. He just sneaks it in, and he gets Clarence's fourth of the afternoon, 4-3-27. I'm guessing, judging by that reaction, it might be his first goal in senior football because he's been absolutely mobbed by his teammates there. They all get to him. And congratulate the young fella as he drives through Clarence's fourth. They extend their lead to 7 points. 4-3-27 plays 3-2-20. And a good response after the Demons scored a goal. Relatively quick time here to the Roos. Lead of 7 points. About as big as it's been for either side so far in what has been a tight game. Green wins it down. Monks climbs on top of it. They all climb on top of him. I think the ruckman get a decisive touch on it. Yeah, they all end up just falling on Monks. See if anyone can get decisive clearance here. Monks trying to gather Green from behind. White just toes it into the open field and sets a foot race here. Leading that foot race, though, was Lovell. The line beats them all. And we tossed back into play. Noah Holmes now doing the ruck work. And taking hold of that throw in. Liefheber tries to gather, in the end just goes off the ground. Anderton beaten to it. Nice work there by Payne. Somehow extracting the handball away was Whitelaw. Then sent deep in the McCulloch direction. Pitches in front of him. Howard getting a hand in and sees it out of play. Back in, Holmes reaching over, gets the clearing kick. Monks favoured, but working hard was Garland to get a fist in there, and he spoils away. Stoppage heavy second quarter here. No real flow to the game. There was a real pace on the first quarter. Neither team could keep a hold of the football. It was a bit of a turnover fest, but there was no doubt that it was flowing a bit more than it has so far in the second term. Plenty of stoppages here at the moment, the order of the day. Holmes palms down, gathered by Bingham. He's tackled immediately by Preshaw. We'll go once more. Fancy pressure around the ball, pretty good from both sides. Holmes just takes it out of the ruck, slaps it on the boot. Preshaw tries to spin out of trouble, did well, flicked the handball over the top, and they're off to the races here. Norton squares the kick up, searching inside, looking for Murrell. Oh, the pressure came, he'll get the free kick there, well, Murrell won't get an advantage. It'll come back as it kicks off once more. Colin Garland at the heart of it. Clarence are trying to claim an advantage. I don't think it was ever paid, though. It's surely going to have to come back as the scrap continues. Just getting a little fiery here in quarter number 2. The second time in 5 minutes, a little spot fire's broken out. That might be 50. It will be, and it's going to kick off again. They get into Norton. Well, it is all rather threatening to boil over here, and Baxter Norton, I think, knows exactly what he's doing, just trying to goad them in to giving away another one. He'll absolutely drive that into the crowd. Jeez, he belted that into the spectators. He is trying to antagonise them here, I think. See if they can sucker him into another free kick and get another shot at goal. Either way, Clarence are now out by 13 points. Everyone losing their minds here at the moment. It's just a pretty unnecessary push by Tilbury, really. It was just dumb is probably the only way to describe it. The mark was taken. He was a mile late and just unnecessarily just shoved him clean in the back. I mean, I'd be surprised if the coaches don't get him off after that. He's just... a brain explosion leads to a certain goal. It's 13 points to the margin now. Umpire tells them to clear out so we can reset. Back to the middle. Clarence now with the largest break of the game. That'll be a free kick over the shoulder on Keegan Ryan. Teams just losing their discipline here a little at the moment. They're regain their focus. They're up to this game in their eyeballs. They need the win. Can't afford to give goals. Garland surrounded. The fly came from behind there from Alomes. All through the hands there of Tilbury. Handball swept back to Ryan. Ryan, they got men everywhere. Lovell's on his own. Lovell turns and sets sail from 50. It's bending back. And it's just wide. It was starting to shape back nicely, but not quite enough. A minor score only. 14 points the lead. Clarence starting to get on top of this one. Gussie Norton from full-back. Drives them outside defensive 50, but he's turned it over. That's a nice intercept mark that's been taken. Howard thumps them deep once more. This one should favour Campbell. Floated over everyone's heads in the end, though, and out of play for a throw in. Roos turning the screws here. 14 points ahead. They look to hold on to their spot in the top four. Right down there by McGee. The Demons getting a clearing kick, but it was ill-directed, and it's going to come back at them. Anderton will take over at half forward. Chipped in short, and Paprotny had just made a bursting run out of defence there, spotted a pocket of space, and he just charged hard to get there and present a marking opportunity. That's just good hard work there from Oscar Paprotny, and he'll be rewarded with a shot, albeit it will be a difficult one from the pain of 50. So, Paprotny, what can he produce? Just inside the paint, won't quite have the journey. A Loams flies, spoil came from behind. Norton, his handball impacted. Lefebvre got it out. White, he swept one, but he turned it straight over. Preshaw was in there. Ryan lurking in the back, well, holding the ball. Sorry, Norton free kick for the Roos. Preshaw penalised. And the Demons hold on. They just need to possess the football here a little bit. Get their hands on it. It's all Clarence. Looked a little like a push. Got away with it. Daly chips it up and finds Spencer White. And there's plenty of wide open space inside the 50 as everyone now streams back. There was no one behind the play. That's a pretty intelligent kick. Finds the marking target there in Wright. Wright now has a crowded 50 to deal with, so he just stands it up in the McCulloch direction. Fist came in there from White. And in the end, a stoppage is forced. Jackson with the fist. He's now in the ruck. He takes it out of the ruck. Jackson, he turns onto the right. Nick Jackson! Super goal! And the Demons cut it back to 8 points. That's the second best goal out of the ruck from that part of the field I've seen in the last 7 days. Nick Jackson doing it nicely. So he reels it in. Just got rid of his opposite number. Opposing ruckman, rather. And the finish was superb. No one back on the goal line. The Demons needed that one. They cut it back to 8 points. The game was just threatening to drift away a tad. Clarence were getting on top. It kicked a few in a row. But Jackson doing the business for his side. 5-4 plays 4-2. 17 plus change gone in the second term here. Possibility of a wet second half. Looking at the skies overhead, so you wouldn't want to see too much of a lead. It could be much tougher to chase it down later in the day. Monk's crashing through. Norton just goes off the deck and whacks it into the forward pocket. Wiley got there. He's immediately claimed. And he's thrown up. Green and Jackson. Jackson palmed it down, but straight to the opposition in Whitelaw. Norton there, and we go the way of the Roos at half back. Driven up towards the wing. Plenty of Demons parked back there. Campbell takes the intercept. So Campbell, high kick towards half forward. As Jackson hit the deck, and as a result of a push, he'll get the free kick. And is that going to be 50? The ball not returned to him on the full. Well, I called the play at the other end dumb. That is equally as stupid. Let's just give him a 50. Just got to throw it back to him on the full. Not too difficult, but failed to do so. And Nick Jackson, instead of being 50, 60 metres from goal, will go back to the goal square and we'll close this game back to within 2 points. Well, a few coach killers here this afternoon at North Hobart Oval, but it's looking to a pretty entertaining game. Jackson has 2 in 2 minutes, and the Demons are back within 2 points. 5-2-32, Clarence 5-4-34. Neither side really able to take control of proceedings for too long. Kind of a few minutes in attack, that's the other team getting on top. No team really dominating. Jackson with 2 big goals for his side. The Demons responding, they needed to. Just as the Roos seemed to be getting on top here. It all becomes rather close again as we tick towards red time in the second term. Thoroughly enjoyable contest, this one. Has moved on to the ball. He tried to take on Paprotny, just got his kick away in time. Ryan applied the pressure. That looked a little like a throw against Ryan. It'll be a throw up here instead. Monks palmed it down. Cleaver couldn't quite gather. Ryan leaping on top of Monks. Cleaver was threatening to take it away, but the umpire had blown his whistle already. Green won that one down. Through heavy traffic, Harper met solidly. And a free kick paid as he tried to burst on through the contest. Free kick will go to either Leafheber or Monks. Both laid the tackle. It'll be Leafheber rewarded. He immediately plays on, sends it into the pocket looking for McCulloch, but there were plenty of roos back, and dropping back was Ballsboom. Ballsboom on the left, drives it out towards a Loams flying in. Couldn't quite take it. Worked forward the Demons to right, took a man on, just got it away to Tilbury. Tilbury back inside, reaching down there, Keeling. Keeling goes back, handball back. Now they go looking in the Spencer White direction. Great mark from the big fella. And it's the big fellas getting the Demons back here. Jackson with a couple, and now White with a mark. A chance to restore the Demons' lead here. A Tall Timber getting on top here, taking some important marks. Kicking some important goals. Can White join Jackson on the scoreboard in this quarter and put the Demons back ahead? He'll kick around about 40 out. It's a beautiful kick, and the Demons lead this one by 4. Spencer White makes it 3 in a row for the Demons. It's been a good response from them, and they're back in front here. 22 minutes gone in quarter number 2. 6-2 to 5-4. I was expecting a close game when I came to the ground here this afternoon. That's what we've got so far. The Demons have responded well here in the second term. They've kicked the last 3, and now it's Clarence, who might feel they need a bit of a circuit breaker here. Holmes into the ruck for them. Monks still for the Demons. Holmes gets it away on the right, sends them inside the forward 50. Palm down. Finlay poke. And the number 11 today. Thumps it up forward. White crashing from behind. Just went through his opponent. Spilled out the back. Dispossessing tackle. Soccering off the deck. Cleaver to the goal square. 1-on-1. McCulloch battling away here against Howard. Howard did well. Did really well, Howard. In the end, we will have a ball inside forward 50. Demons in the ascendancy at the moment, looking to extend their lead. Jackson against Holmes. Holmes slapped it down. Anson couldn't gather. Daly was there. Punched a handball back to Sandrick, who drives it through from behind. They move along to 6-3. Keegan Wiley sends it wide, but couldn't find a teammate. You want to get a touch on that? Be thrown in. So 5 points to the margin here. Just the 3 goals in the first term. 8 so far in quarter number 2. Holmes takes front position, palmed it down. Preshaw couldn't break free. Holmes again took it out of the ruck himself, but handball straight to the opposition. Daly cracks in. Preshaw flicked a handball on the outside to Ryan, who just slapped it on the boot and got some good territory. It'll be thrown in at half forward for the Roos. Anyone find another goal or 2 before the half-time break? Yeah. 5 points the margin as it's thrown back into play. Holmes out of the ruck, wheeled onto the right, sent it in the Alome's direction. Just pitched in front of him and then off the hands of Garland. They work it forward again. Just working the way down the line. Stoppage to stoppage here, the Roos. Toss back in, Green with a chance to leap at it. Young was there for the Demons. And that one rolls out of play. Everybody in one half of the ground here at the moment. It's thrown back in. Green leaning on amongst, couldn't take clean possession. Holmes, he was brought down. And another stoppage inside the forward 50 for the Roos. Garland this time doing the ruck, did it nicely to Harper, who again tried to crash through. But this time Sandrick was there, stopping him from doing so. Garland thumped it forwards, good hit out that. Alome's presenting up at it. He tried to shrug through a couple and was immediately seized. And again, a stoppage inside forward 50. Garland doing nice. Won it down to Howard. Howard flicked the handball to Norton. Got his shot away. It's across the face. Alome's is there for the Roos. Reaching over. Fell out the back and snapping through is McGee. Well, luck's a fortune for Connor McGee. Just spilled out the back to him. He gathered and he showed great composure. A tidy finish from the angle, and Clarence are back in front by a point. Connor McGee. Very tidy from the big man. And it's Clarence by a point as we tick towards the half-time break here. 6-4 plays 6-3. Doesn't get much tighter than that. Neither team really able to extend beyond a double-digit lead in this one. The other team continuing to respond. Back to the middle. Monks v Holmes. Holmes won it down. Anderton will be first to this one. Pitches, has a little time to assess his options and just switches it across nicely. Driven down the line, there's the goal scorer McGee, now working hard to present a target. He takes the mark and sends them deep inside the forward 50 again. Green and Alomes were there. The spoil came. Green out after this one. And it'll be locked up once more. So after a period of getting on top the Demons, now it's Clarence's time to just have repeat entries inside the forward 50, repeat stoppage at their end of the field. Garland out of the ruck. Norton for the Demons. Tight to the line though. The ball spills over once more. Rain now falling here. North Hobart Oval, which will make things even trickier. Garland palmed one down. Green took it in flight. He was celebrating the moment it left his boots, Sam Green. What a wonderful goal that is from the big man. Turned onto the right, smashed it through. It's the Roos by 7. And the ball was still 15 metres away from the goal, and he was wheeling away, fist-pumping Green. He knew he caught that clean. And it's the Roos who take a 7-point break just before half-time here. Some wonderful stuff from the big man there. Sammy Green using a variety of different roles here. Giving a bit of a utility rather than just more of a pure ruckman he was earlier in the season. We're seeing Holmes taking quite a bit of the ruck contest. We've seen behind the ball at points. He's playing forward here today, making an impact. Back to the middle. Holmes in the ruck. Over the shoulder free kick will go the way of the Demons. Jackson wanted to hand off to a runner. The Roos were quick to shut that down, so Jackson wheels off to his right, drives them deep. He's looking for Spencer White. Ball pitches. More dispossessed. Bingham with a good tackle. The pressure applied, but it fell the way of Howlett. And he'll look to carry it out of half-back. Handball over the top to Anderton. He's got Harper. He also had Preshaw. Preshaw now uses that option in Harper. He runs the wing. And it's opening up in front of him nicely. Loams is just peeled off into space. No, it's McGee again, sorry. He just holds up, and perhaps the confidence flowing after that last one says, no, I've got this. I'll take the shot on. And probably not a bad option in the 31st minute of a quarter. With the siren potentially. Going to go. Baxter Norton is lurking. Again, McGee says no. Waves him away. Determined to take the shot and try and find his second here. McGee will kick from just inside the paint. He gives it a good ride. It's drifting across the face. It is plucked in the square by Holmes. Just extended the jukes and took a wonderful mark, did Noah Holmes. A sea of bodies in the goal square. He takes it. And he'll go back to give Clarence a 13-point lead here. They've surged late in the quarter. And Noah Holmes puts it over the top of the Horry Gorringe stand onto the road. 8-4-52. Clarence out by 13 points. And again, this game continues to seesaw. The Demons had worked their way back into it, had taken the lead. Clarence have responded and managed to kick the last 3 goals here of the quarter. Well, strong finish to the term. Holmes, having just taken the mark, goes back to the ruck. We've got rain, sunshine and rainbows here at North Hobart, and a thoroughly compelling contest as it flicked over the top. Off the ground goes Norton, sends the Roos forward. Time for one more, perhaps. Need to be clean here. Well done, Campbell. Stood up under pressure. Holmes looks to win it back, though. Preshaw turns away. Handball over the top to Whitelaw. Whitelaw sends them deep, looking for a Loams. Ball pitches inside. Bounces around and bounces off a couple. Bingham applying some pressure. Poke there too. And the Demons see it across. And indeed, a holding the ball. Free kick has been paid to Finlay Poke. He normally rocks the number 30. The number 11 today. Sure what the reason for that is. He drives them up the wing here. Not a great kick. Liam Howard takes the intercept. The Roos finishing this quarter with a surge. Really applying some pressure. A flat floating kick, fell straight in the path of Jackson. He just slapped it on the boot. Having to stand under the high ball was Monks, and he got absolutely crunched from behind there. And that'll draw a response, possibly a 50. Monks absolutely floored there. And just a free kick, so Monks from the middle of the ground. The Demons would love one before the break here, just to pull it back to a more manageable margin, but there was Keegan Wiley to take the relieving mark. We've gone 34 minutes in the quarter. It's been a long one. Plenty of goals and a lot of boundary throw-ins, the reason for that. That one through the hands there of Lovell. poke is claimed. Norton tries to extract the football. The whistle had already gone. And there is the siren for halftime here at North Hobart Oval. It's been an entertaining first half of football. Both teams have had periods in the ascendancy, but Clarence had the better of the last 5 or 6 minutes there. Put it on the scoreboard, kicked the final 3 goals of the half. And at the main change here at North Hobart Oval, it's the Roos 8-4-52, leading North Hobart 6-3-39, a 13-point break for the visitors in this all-important battle. A match that will go a long way to sorting out the competition's top 4 and finals placings. The Roos, though, currently in 4th place and currently on course for 4 points here. The Demons going to need to turn things around in the second half. Be back in around about a quarter of an hour's time with that for you. It's the Roos by 13 at half time here at North Hobart. So we're back for the second half, and during half-time, an absolute deluge has struck North Hobart Oval here. It has been absolutely teeming now with rain for nearly the entire half-time break. It is pretty diabolical now, the conditions. Gone is the sunshine we saw earlier in this one. It is going to be, I'd imagine, like a bar of soap, the football pretty quickly. That will certainly change things in the second half as we prepare to get underway. And the battle resumes as Green spikes it forward. Norton onto the football for the Demons. Handball to White. White sends it out towards Norton of Clarence. He turns back inside. One of the few players who's been pretty clean in the conditions today. Found Kieran Howlett. Howlett with a lovely kick to half forward to open things up. Found a target there. Swinging back there was towards the goal square. Was it Ryan or Alomes who's brought that down? Alomes in the pack, I think. That's a great mark. Right, it'll be McGee. Well, third time lucky. Just got to put it up there and see bodies. And McGee, who's taken a couple of nice marks today, brings down another. He'll go back here. Directly in front. 20 metres out, should be no problem. A perfect start coming up here for the Roos. And he steers it straight through the middle. So, again, an early goal in a quarter. And again, it goes the way of the Roos. They open up a handy break here now of 19 points. Biggest lead of the afternoon, 9-4-58 to 6-3-39. And as conditions significantly worsen here, that is a pretty handy break to have. Imagine goals, despite that one coming so quickly there, are going to be tougher to come by. And I reckon pack marks like that even rarer in the second half as the ball starts to get a little bit wetter. Striking early in the term, still in pretty good condition, might be the best opportunity there, and they do so. The Roos now up by 19 points. It's a handy break they've got. Monks and Green. Green palms over the top. White to Norton. Norton handballs back to Poke. Poke's kick almost cut off by Green, crashing through Anderton. Green clawing in. Callan Daly on there. Leafever with hands. Monks slipped one across to Norton, but Norton off the opposition brought him down. Handball worked backwards, and now the Roos will drive it towards half forward. Garland's there. Battling away. Garland just worked his man underneath it. He goes and steers a lovely banana to Holmes. Great composure shown from Colin Garland. He didn't blaze away. He saw his man centrally and squared it up with a lovely little banana. And this is a chance for the Roos to get the absolute perfect start. So the quarter here, 2 goals in the opening moments. Conditions getting tougher, but Clarence showing no ill effects here in the opening moments of the term. Holmes could open up a 25-point break here as he goes back and he drives it through. It's a wonderful kick from Noah Holmes. He's kicked a couple, and the Roos have got themselves a nice little break now. 10-4-64, North Hobart 6-3-39. 2 strikes in the opening moments, and suddenly they find themselves in a large hole here, the Demons. Their finals hopes potentially on the line, needing a result. It's the Roos who've jumped them out of the break. Move the ball out of the centre well. And a couple of marks inside forward 50. And they're big men. Holmes and Garland doing the business. You might not expect that given the wet conditions. Back to the middle. Green and Monks, Howlett. Norton poises with some poisey props. He sends it in the Garland direction with strength. Just got the better of Walker, but couldn't complete the mark. It'll be a free kick, though, going the way of Walker. Garland just infringing. Gave the handball immediately to Norton. Chips one short. Now Campbell. Campbell back to Norton to Sandrick. And now it's Walker who's just tackled off his kick there and impacted it. Went straight to Ryan. Ryan drives it. Lovely kick. Oh, just pitched in front of his forward there. Ian Alomes who sends it into the pocket towards Garland. Controls. Again shows composure. Back to Howlett, who's just taken the sliding mark. This will be a tough kick, though. Angle against him. Kick from around about 50 out. He wheels off, sells a little candy, gets around Norton from the pocket. Howlett scrubs the kick though, bounced out okay. Pinball's back inside, Campbell through traffic, just wants to clear the area. He drove it away, impacting well was Hasty, but now it's back inside. Oh, miscontrolling their level. They go back in, handball to Norton, his kick charged down by Sandrick. Anyone take clean possession? There'll be a ball up. Well, looking very dangerous there for a moment for the Demons. They're able to see it away to safety, but a 25-point margin. A growing one of some concern here. They need the next goal. White stretches a boot at it. Some quick hands were good. The snap from Harper. He's just offline. And it's out to 26 points. Norton carries it out of defence. Drives it in the McCulloch direction. Doesn't have much service today, but they need perhaps a lift from their star forward if they're going to get back into this one, Jack McCulloch. And well held so far, admittedly not had great service or supply, but Howard doing a good job there as Green worked off it by Sandrick. Preshaw was just about to steal it away from the contest, but the whistle had blown. Green came from behind, spiked it forwards. Norton collects, turns around onto the right, slaps it up the wing. Bingham couldn't quite take it. Green gathers, a free kick's been called. A hold on Bingham. Demons flood some bodies forward here to give him an option. Bingham kicked the opening goal of the afternoon, just sets it up inside forward 50. White through his hands, couldn't take the mark. Daly first to the fall. Spills out the back. Tilbury handballed it out. Turning away Hasty. Great tackle from Keegan Wiley. That's a saver there. A goal saver. Just doing well before Hasty could get his shot away. And Wiley, the kick not quite as good. Invited in Young. Preshaw there working it towards the line. And out of play for a throw in. So 26 points. Here's the margin. Comfortably the largest of the afternoon. North Hobart took the lead around about the 20-minute mark of the second term. Since then, it's been all Clarence. Kicked the last 5 now, I think. Green, again with the leap and spike, but the Demons take it away. Daly the target, Bealey there with him. Daly cleverly flicked it over the top to Bealey, but Ryan gets a hold of him. Brings him to a stop right on the paint of 50. Monks and Green. Monks this time decisively slapping it forwards. Tough to control in these conditions. It's scooped out towards the line. Lovell first to it. Screws a kick around the corner, a 2-on-1 in favour of the Demons. Finlay Poke there, and it's out of play again for a throw-in. Demons in dire need of the next goal. Not going to be easy to kick goals in this second half. Quickly becoming unmanageable. They need to stem the bleeding here. Thrown back into play. Monks gets the better of Green, gets his kick inside the forward 50. Runs out behind. Hasty applying some pressure to Wiley. Howard, he slung off the football. Daly back in again, but Paprotny has him. Fighting through the contest, Daly, but he can't break through. And again, there'll be a ball up. Demons need to get something from this. Oh, Jackson out of the ruck again, but this time it was charged down. Throwing a hand up at it and doing well was Lovell to control a difficult one. And it's out wide now for Cooney. Cooney at half-back goes back into the corridor for Green. Oh, fumbled it. Did well to gather it back. Handball to Cooney. Cooney retreats to Lovell. Just slaps it on the boot. Bit of a spiral. Pitches just inside. Not a bad result in the end for the Roos. A throw in at half-forward. Green takes front position, palmed it down through the stoppage. Lovell, Leafheader climbs on top, wins the ball back, and Windsor holding the ball, does he? No. Dumping tackle the call. Free kick going the way of Lovell. Lovell now will send the Rouge deep forward. Noah Holmes the target with strength. Noah Holmes takes a good mark. The kick was put to his advantage. He shielded the space, used his strength, takes the mark. He'll go back for his third. He's taken some good grabs today, has Big Noah. And the opportunity now to kick his side 32 points clear. He does just that. He loves his work there, Noah Holmes. He snaps it through. And the Roos are flying here at North Hobart in quarter number 3. They have another one. They're 11-5-71. They're up by 32 points. North Hobart haven't scored since they led 39-34, 24 minutes into the second quarter. Since then, it's been an onslaught from the Roos. They've kicked 6 goals, 1 to no score since that moment. And they are racing away with this game. Noah Holmes has been a big part of that. Back to the middle. Holmes scoops the handball out to Norton. Norton sends it out wide. Howlett will give chase, but the boundary line will win out. He'll be tossed back into play. Kick the last 3 goals of the second quarter from the 25-minute mark onwards. Kick the first 3 in the opening 10 here. Noah Holmes out of the ruck again, but Jackson wrapped him up. Got the handball away, though. Didn't find Leafheader. Norton. Howlett was peeling away with it, but it's going to be brought back. A free kick going the way of the Demons. And this one just pitched short. Leafheader in a bit of space. He turns and immediately goes. He's chased from behind, and he gets his kick towards the half-forward line. Beerley did well, worked his way to the front and spoiled. He'll be held up again. The ball will be thrown into play. So a good thing that car's got its lights on down the forward pocket. It is very dark out there at the moment here at North Hobart. Climbing into the contest was Monks, but Holmes got it cleared away. Demons take a hold of the football. White sends them inside the forward 50, looking for Hasty. Takes the juggling mark. Nicely done there. And a badly needed mark inside 50 gives them the opportunity here to kick a goal and stop this run of 6 consecutive goals from the Roos that are seeing them blow this one wide open. And cut it back to 26 there. Hasty strikes it and drives it wide of the mark. That won't do. North Hobart, 6-4-40. Another good news for Clarence. Launceston leading Lauderdale. I suppose it might hurt their chances of third. Depends if they're more concerned with earning a home final or holding on to 4th spot. That one. Another big battle up in the north of the state. A couple of big games today impacting that top 4 race. But it's currently Launceston by 11 over Lauderdale as the Roos go forward once more. Looked like a push in the back there. And the free kick will go the way of Walker. So they retreat all the way back to full back. They've themselves in a bit of a corner here potentially, and then they turn it straight over to Garland. Well, that's just sloppy football. They seeded ground, which is not optimal in the wet conditions, put themselves under pressure with the next kick, and then turned it straight over to a man you don't want to be giving the football to. Inside forward 50, Garland, he squares it. Harper had some room to play on in front of him if he wanted, but he's going to go back instead. He's a thumping kick, is Jared Harper. We'll see if he can carry the journey here in the wet. Distance not normally a problem, kind of anywhere from 55 out for this man. Conditions might play a role in that, but he is a wonderful kick of the football. So Harper, from just outside the paint, he gives it a ride, just holds up short, pitches back in, almost back towards the goal there. Well, McGee again, who's been really lively inside forward 50 as the Demons force a stoppage. Just getting his hands on the ball in dangerous areas is Connor McGee. Been quite impressed with his efforts today. A real nuisance of himself there. Slapped on over the top, back inside. Green runs the opposition down, but it was over the shoulder. Free kick going the way of the D's. Stephenson at fullback. As the rain continues to drive down here at North Hobart Oval. Sliding after that one, Monks couldn't quite get there. It'll be tossed back into play. 31 points the lead. As conditions get worse and worse, it is looking like a pretty decisive break here. Goals are not going to be easy to come by from this point on. Conditions pretty diabolical at the moment. Back into play. Holmes and Jackson volleyed forwards. Ryan gathered, flicked the handball out behind, though. There it was Bingham. Bingham's kick straight down the throat. The defender. Mark taking it half back. Roos opt to retreat to Green at fullback. He's got Liam Howard in the back pocket. But I think the Demons are trying to lure them into making that kick. He's sitting off him, so they send it wide instead. Monk's able to spoil it away from Paprotny. And we tossed back in. A bit of a wait whilst the search for the ball goes on. Jackson and Holmes in the ruck here. Jackson takes front position, gets the clearance, sends the Demons forward. White spoiled away from him by Fisher. Solid bump there. Norton, Preshaw dispossessing him, holding the football cold. Preshaw sending it wide. Driving it deep was Ryan. Sends them all the way to the pocket, and that's a wonderful mark. And guess who it is? It's Connor McGee again. He's bobbing up everywhere. Tracked that one well. That was not an easy ball, floating over his head. Tracked it beautifully. Took the mark. Well, it's happening off the ball at the moment. Preshaw in a scrap. It was right, I think it was. So McGee from the side angle to the pockets. Just hangs it near side. A minor score only, 11-6-72. Norton carrying it out of full back. Turned over though. And the Roos will go forward again. They got men everywhere. Baxter Norton wide on his own. 40 from home. Takes the mark. As Angus Norton will stand at the mark. And Baxter will go back and look to extend the lead out to 38 points. They're really getting on top here are the Roos. They made their move in quarter number 3. Began late in the second term. And they have picked up where they left off. So can Norton kick them out to 38 points? Could well be a match-winning break, this. Norton kicks from 40. Looks good off the boot. It's through. Baxter Norton has it. He loves it. And they're out by 38. 12-6-78. Plays 6-4-40. It's looking like Clarence's day here at North Hobart. It was a tight battle for most of the first half, but since the tail end of the second term, it's been all the Roos. And 38 points could well be a decisive margin here now as the rain falls at North Hobart Oval. In the middle we go. Norton tumbles a kick forward. Whitelaw out after it, got there first. Handball to Paprotny. Paprotny through traffic back to Whitelaw. Now Anderson sends it wide. Searching for Alomes. Couldn't quite get there. Out of bounds on the full. So the Demons from half back. They've got some options in the corridor. One was Daly. Callan Daly. Lovely kick that. Finesses it to right. Right wheels on. And from centre wing, he sends a high ball up towards Monks. Mark not quite completed. White tumbling the ball in front of him. Couldn't gather. Howard climbs on. Norton somehow came through. Got it deep to McCulloch in a one-on-one with Howard. McCulloch gathered, but Howard has a hold of him and forces the stoppage. He's done really well today, Liam Howard. An important job on the dangerous McCulloch. Really conditions for the big man as Holmes just slaps it over his shoulder. Beautifully done to Howlett. Howlett outside defensive 50 to Murrell. And Murrell takes the tumbling mark. Defensive side of the wing. They want it in the corridor. That's where he heads, Ryan. But getting a hand in there nicely was Hilda. Just broke the play up. Leafheber's kick was spoiled. Spilt into the path of a couple. Norton applying the pressure. White now gathers. He handballed there to Tilbury. Tilbury released it to Daly. Daly from 45. Doesn't quite have the accuracy. And puts it through for a minor score. 41 plays, 78. The Roos out of defence. Ryan the target here. Spoil came from White. Spilt out the back there to Borsboom. He just launches it over the top. Spills out the back. Will it sit for Norton? He can't quite gather. He turns on to the right. He sets it up high. They've got a 2-on-1 here, the Roos. The one almost took it there and Young, but in the end it fell the way of the lines. You couldn't quite direct his kick. And there'll be a throw in inside the forward 50. Looking like another one there. Was about to come for the Roos. So he got it over the top, but the slippery football simply would not sit up. The lively Connor McGee to do the ruck work here, although the umpire says that'll have to wait. Leafheber with a bit of claret. Quite a bit of it too. Seems to be coming out of his right eyebrow there quite profusely there, Leafheber. Back into play. Gee and Monks, Freeshaw and Norton. Norton kicked it off the ground. Hurd applying some pressure. And ball from Paprotny. Freeshaw trying to wrestle it on out of there, getting a kick away. Paprotny skewed out towards Howlett. Howlett just shielding the ball from Norton. Getting the kick away, it was Borsboom to the square. Nice mark, Matty Campbell. Read it well. And plays on out of defence. He's about to get charged down by Murrell. Flung himself trying to spoil. Tough coming together there. And it spills out of play for a throw in. And some real bodies on the line type action here this afternoon at North Hobart. Can't fault the endeavour of either of these sides, that's for sure. Been flying in all afternoon. Back into play. Holmes now in the ruck. The rotating cast continuing for Clarence. Tilbury slammed into the turf, nothing doing. And there'll be a ball up in the middle of the ground. Holmes slapped it over the top. Harper read it nicely. On his left, he sends them towards the top of the 50. Dropping one he should have had, Finlay Poke. We'll have another stoppage. Holmes bustling through, just volleyed it, and then taking a good mark, tracking it back was Norton. Norton spears a sharp little one to Payne. Payne gives it back to Norton. Had plenty of the football today, Gussie Norton. He chips this one short to Cleaver. Cleaver driving them deep inside the Spencer White direction. Green was back there for the Roos. Tries to get rid of Hasty. Couldn't do so. It's locked up once again. Some nice stuff this afternoon, Charlie Hasty. White tries to come over the top of Holmes, just took front position though. And the Roos belt it forward through the left boot of Ballsboom, straight however to Bradley Young. And Young chips it wide, Norton again. Racking it up, half back at the moment, Gussie Norton. Sends it towards the 50 arc, but Noah Holmes dropping back in the space, took the mark, got it moving quickly because he spied Holmes in space. He dropped it though. Plenty of time for Green to go back and retrieve it. Was pressured from behind by McCulloch. Young got a fist in there. Bit of a scrap now on the wing. Spills out the back of the contest. Sandrick first to it. And there's going to be another ball up. 25 and a half minutes have ticked by now in the third term. 37 points. Clarence have surely taken care of this one. For a tight battle. They've kicked the last 7. This one's hammered forward, but again, the intercept taken, this time by Campbell. Turns onto his right and powers one out towards Jackson. There's a free kick against him, though. Will go the way of Paprotny. Paprotny swings it forward towards Garland. There it was Walker from behind. Handball to Jackson, back to Norton. Norton steers one out and he finds Walker. He takes the mark ahead of Ryan. Handball to White under a bit of pressure. Got it moving to Payne. Payne gave it to Young. Young driving them deep. McCulloch in a one-on-one with Howard. Got the body position. Couldn't complete the mark. Then just went off the deck. Kicked it into the pocket. This pitches. Spins. And stays in play, which might well have saved him from an insufficient intent free kick there, McCulloch. So they'll get a stoppage. Not the conditions for him, but hasn't been his day today, the North Hobart Talisman. Jackson out of the ruck. He's already kicked one. This time Hurd blocked off his path. Won the ball. Norton back to Green, and there's the three-quarter time siren. Well, they call it the premiership quarter, and the Roos have made their move. They're 37 points clear at the final change. It looks to be a match-winning break. North Hobart, who were ahead at the 25-minute mark of the second term, now finding themselves well and truly down 4 goals to none in that third term after the Roos kicked the final 3 in red time of the second term. They've kicked the last 7 and they have blown this one open. A 37-point lead their way. 12-6-78 plays 6-5-41, three-quarter time, and a wet North Hobart Oval. We'll be back with the final term shortly. And we're back for the final term here at North Hobart. Results surely beyond doubt, but let's see what the final quarter has in store for us. It's Clarence holding sway by 37 points as we turn for the final quarter here at North Hobart. Wet conditions. But the Roos have broken this one open. They've kicked the last 7 goals of the match after they trailed 39-34. And we're underway in the final quarter. Jackson up against Green. Howlett with a hand in. White back to Jackson. With the lefty screws a kick around the corner, and the mark taken there, turning back onto his right. He's heeled up, driving them deep. The intercept mark taken back there by Fisher, who thumps them out of there, Bealey rather, who sends it out, and Clarence player down in some distress there. Back to his feet. Fortunately there it was Murrell, who's put himself about today, the young man. He's been frenetic with his pressure and his attempts to impact contests and spoil. As this one sent the Garland direction through his hands, repelled by Monks. Harper from behind, couldn't quite get it. Fell the way of Leafhaber, just sent it on the boot, and a nice mark taken by Callan Daly. 60 from home, he wheels onto his right, has only one target to kick to, that was McCulloch. Doing a really good job to put his body on the line was Fisher. Just got back into the space and made life tough there. And the coaching staff at Clarence enjoying that one. Selfless stuff there. There's only going to be one result. He was going to get clobbered. That prevents McCulloch taking the mark. Toss back into play. McCulloch now doing the ruck work. Gets the better of Green. No one able to take it away though. They'll have another ball up. To kick the difference between Launceston and Lauderdale up in the north. Baxter Norton clears the area. Jackson, they work it behind and then steered high into the air there and juggling the mark. Kellen Stephenson. Stephenson bobbing up now at half forward, wheels onto the left. He launches from distance, gives it a bit of a carry, but Green in the goal square gets absolutely clobbered. And he'll get the free kick. So Green drives them outside, searching for Garland. Gave a good contest, and he was infringed upon, was Garland. So tough to defend him when he takes that front position. And free kick paid against Bradley Young there. Garland sends it high and wide. Holmes, his target, almost brought it in with the one hand. Leafhaber comes across, and it's out of play for a ball in. Some repairs done, Tommy Leafhaber, after he was bleeding quite heavily. Of his head there in the third quarter. Thrown back in, punched away there by Garland, though straight to Young. Young just punches it clear. Bingham out in a race with Whitelaw. Whitelaw first to it, and Bingham just shoves him blatantly in the back, and that'll be a free kick. Didn't do much of a job disguising that one, Josh Bingham. Whitelaw to take over. He's got Green on short. That's where he heads. He goes across the face to Ballsboom. And Ballsboom now works it to Lovell. Chipping the ball around here. Next link in the chain is Fisher. The game well under their control here, the Roos. As Fisher drives it down the line, Garland will come from too deep, smashed away by Jackson, straight to Harper. Now Paprotny. Paprotny sends them in the Holmes direction. Double fist spoil comes in, will pitch inside the pocket. Holmes trying for the spectacular. No, that was shut down there by Hasty working back. We'll have a ball in deep inside the forward 50 for the Roos. Jackson and Holmes grapple. Norton trying to spin through. Holmes against Jackson. Holmes takes front spot, palmed it down to Sandrick. Right first to it. He flicked it out to Norton. Clears defensive 50. Looking for Walker from behind. McCulloch Thumping hit there. Turning onto his right, Hilda squared it up, backing back, and dropping the mark in the end was White, was able to regather it, flick the handball back out in the Norton direction. He sends it back to Jackson, was under pressure, got his handball away to Bingham. Bingham now sends them towards half forward. Plenty of Roos here. White fighting against two, and the support favoured the Roos as well. Some fancy work through the legs there from Howlett, and now the Roos are up towards the half forward line. Chipped inside. It's a good kick. Finds the marking target. Murrell plays on. Oh, lovely work there. Ryan's peeled off into space. He plays on, goes in towards goal and misses. And one he probably should have had there, Ryan. I don't think it will matter too much in the grand scheme of things. Lead out to 38. Short to Campbell. Campbell steers it to Jackson. Jackson keeps it low and found Liefhauer on his knees, took the mark, quickly handball to Norton. Norton to Sandrick, has Bingham on over the top, goes back inside to Liefhauer instead. Nice play here as Liefhauer sends them inside the forward 50, a floating kick. McCulloch a little late with the spoil. White first to it, socket off the deck by Cleaver into the pocket. And out of play for a ball in. As it stands, the Roos would move 2 games clear of Lauderdale in 4th spot, with Lauderdale trailing Launceston up in the north at the moment. Here's Paprotny, spins away on his left. Jackson almost taking the mark, ducked under an arm there. Shifted it out to Sandrick. Sandrick tries to crash back inside. Bingham and Sandrick again over the shoulder on this occasion. Sandrick the recipient, and it is driving down the rain here. Truly diabolical conditions at North Hobart Oval. Getting increasingly harder to see, admittedly. Sandrick will kick from just inside 50. And that just sets up in the end Fisher the spoil. Not gathered cleanly, almost letting Liefhauer, who follows up, applies another tackle. Harper in there. Looked out the top. Sandrick turns back onto the left, screws it round the corner. McCulloch charging, but there was Howard to take the mark. Howard sends it high. Punched away. Gee was in there. Play continues. Bingham spun clear. Got his kick inside the forward 50, looking for Daly. Pressured by Beerley. Beerley comes away with the football. Over the head of McGee. And off hands and out of play for a throw in. So 38 points for the margin. For a quarter and 25 minutes, it was a really tight battle here. Real arm wrestle of a game, but the Roos have seized control really since the back end of the second term. This was the last time the Demons kicked a goal. Jackson slung off it, got his kick away in the White direction. It's going to be brought back in a free kick. Go against Spencer White, in fact, to Ryan Ballsboom. Ballsboom with the left boot sends it in the McGee direction through his hands, but caught one over the shoulder. He'll get the free kick. And he's going to get 52, will he? So McGee has had himself a bit of an afternoon here, and he'll have an opportunity for another goal. A chance to extend the lead to 44 points. Very impressed by Connor McGee this afternoon. And the most of his opportunity yet. He got some pretty dangerous tall timber. He had another weapon in here. Given the conditions, it's been a really good performance from him. Certainly not a day for the big men, but the Clarence big players have done the damage. Not on this occasion, though. He's almost certain to do that after I talked him up like that. He puts it across the face for a behind. 39 points the lead. Gus Norton out of full back. Stephenson flies. Couldn't quite bring it down. Handball flicked out, but it was picked off there by Bingham, who plays the 1-2, charges off, couldn't gather it the second time. Ryan applying some pressure, Howlett in there on Cleaver. Back in was Whitelaw. Did well to shake free of trouble. And the kick is marked by Young. Young gave it to Norton, had to get his kick away quickly, did so. Got a little push through the hands of Whitelaw. Right now stands it up, looking for Callan. Daly working his way to the front. Great spoil, Beerley. Somehow got a hand in there. Oh, Anderton gets coat-hanged by Daly. Well, that is as straightforward a free kick as you'll see. Gee, Anderton wearing the helmet, and he would have felt that in Daly. He's an angry man out there at the moment. Gives another bloke a whack. Not perhaps happy with the way this game's drifted away from his side in the second half, Callan Daly. Just trying to make his mark on the contest. Holmes and Jackson. Neither one can get it, just pitches, and then coming through the contest, Bingham. Whitelaw getting in ahead of Hilda, and it's out of play for a throw in. Anderton. Now Norton. Shows some poise. Kicks on the non-preferred. Norton couldn't take the mark for the Demons, though. It's just sock it out of there. Walker. Now Bingham. Turning towards the boundary. He's robbed of the footy, holding the ball cold. Roos. Drive it inside the forward 50. Spills towards the back of the contest. Garland gets beat to ball. Colin Garland, how will it bounce? Into the post. Would have been a remarkable goal for Colin Garland. Just to behind, though. They move along to 12-9. The Demons keen to move it quickly. Going to go looking for Hilda through his hands. Out the back to Hasty. Hasty back to Hilda. It might have gone over the line. It has. When he tossed back in, the Demons will be keen to find a goal here in the last quarter. They're not going to want to get shut out in the second half. Just the two behinds to show for the second half so far. Jackson took it in the breadbasket, flicked the handball out to Sandrick. Sandrick goes looking for Leafheber. Ball spilt back towards Bingham, got boot to ball, high into the sky. Spencer White judged it well. And it's just the 15. He's paid the mark. Sandrick wanted the short give. That's ignored. Instead, just massages one the Leafheber direction. Ryan interjecting. Leafheber now turns it inside the forward 50, but Fisher does well and takes the relieving mark. He moves it quickly. Looking hard to give him an option, Murrell. He stabs one and finds Preshaw short. He blasts it down the line towards Garland over his head, and the mark taken by Campbell. No obvious option, so retreats back to Norton. He has Young if he wants to execute the switch. That's where he heads, but there's nothing ahead of him here, so he's just going to have to hold up and wait for someone to present. In the end, he just kicks it straight to the opposition. Fortunately for him, ball's boom dropped to chest mark, fell to Leafheber. He works it towards Hilda. He just overruns it. Conditions making life tough out there at the moment for players. Murrell working hard again. Hasn't stopped running, this young fella. He chips one short. Got a target in Ryan. He sends one over the top, but showed too much of it to Callan Stephenson. Stephenson steers it to McCulloch. McCulloch, 60 from home, looks up. Didn't see a lot on, but thought his way through it, squared it up to Bingham. Bingham turns onto his right, threads a clever little pass, and he finds White, who can go back and try and break North Hobart's duck here in the second half. Their first goal since around about 20-minute mark of the second term here, the Demons. Try and cut it back to 34. Dominic White sends it on its way. And he does get the goal for the Demons. They get their 7th of the afternoon. It's been a long time coming. But they finally break a run of 7 consecutive goals to the Roos and cut the margin back to 34 points. It's 7-5-47. They trail the Roos 12-9-81. Launceston 14 points clear of Lauderdale up at Windsor Park. So it looks like that's going to be a victory for Launceston. So Clarence will have a 2-game break on Lauderdale in the race for the top 4. It's almost going to be a big afternoon in shaping the 4. Green wins it down. Sandrick in the middle. Ryan skies a kick. White gets a fist to it. Reshaw tracking it. Sandrick goes in, flicked one up. Trying to bust through there. Unsuccessful in doing so. That'll be holding the football. Sandrick will take his free kick. That's got to be 50. Played on. Whistle hadn't gone. And Sandrick will now have a shot and a chance for 2 goals in 2 minutes here for the Demons. Sandrick opts to pass instead. Curious option, but he did it well. He finds a marking target inside the forward 50 in Bingham. Although the angle certainly tougher than he would have faced. Perhaps the heavy ball and wind. Sandrick didn't fancy himself from 40. Manageable distance, but a tough angle here for Josh Bingham, who kicked the first goal of the game for the D's. Can he get his 2nd of the afternoon? The easiest kick. He sends it across the face and misses. 33 points now the margin as we tick towards the conclusion of this one. The Roos look like they're going to secure an important victory here today, just to shore up their spot in the top 4 through the hands of Young, gathered by Preshaw. McGee pulling out all the party tricks, the look-away handball if you don't mind. The confidence flowing through this young man right now. Will be thrown up half forward for the Demons. Jackson against Holmes, who just brought him down from behind. Free kick will go the way of Jackson, though. Jackson told to move it along. He does just that, and they were lining up to take the intercept there with a Roos. In the end, Bealey the one who takes it. He exits defensive 50. McGee slaps it down. Around the corner from Proprotny. Norton parked back there. Brings it under his spell. Worked it towards Campbell. The free kick will go the way of the Demons. They'll go to Gussie Norton. So Norton searching there for Wright. Couldn't find him. Harper through the contest. Holmes gave it to Proprotny. Proprotny sets it up in the Garland direction from behind. Colin Garland takes a wonderful mark. Although Campbell, furious, felt he was pushed. Garland plays on quickly. It's drifting deep. And tracking it back was White. In the end, no score as he takes the mark. His kick pitches in front of Bingham, then spills out behind for Whitelaw. He fakes one way, goes back the other. Was touched on his path to Norton. He found Harper. Harper back to Norton. Now Green. Well, there were 4 of them standing on their own there, but they somehow found the boundary line and kicked it out of bounds on the full. A little sloppy there from the Roos. Late on in the piece in these conditions. Probably forgivable. They've got this one all but assured. Pressure applied. Spills out. Finlay poke. Throwing the tackle. High ball there from Jackson. High into the sky goes. Green launches at it with a fist. Screwed back in towards the corridor. Maybe a free kick could have gone to Mural, but instead the Demons take it forward. McCulloch works his man under. It spills out the back, tracking back hard though. He's Paprotny really making some ground there was Oscar Paprotny, and he rushes it through for a behind. They then take the kick very quickly, clear it to half back. Chip short to Bealey. Game just going through the motions now, really. Clarence have this win secured. Long towards Noah Holmes. It drift out of bounds on the full, it did. For a kick going the way of the Demons on centre wings. They try and claw back a little more respectability on the final scoreboard here. Punch short to Campbell. Campbell retreats to Norton. Norton to Young. Didn't see anything he likes, so he goes looking for Keeling, but that invited in a Loams. Keeling kept his feet. That was crucial. Allowed him to go back and gather the ball. Pushes it down the line. Finlay poke there. Also, Bealey and out of play for a throw in. Red time in the final term now. 32 points in favour of the Roos. They've been better for longer here this afternoon. They're going to secure an important victory. They can turn their attention to trying to reel in Launceston in third and getting home field in first week of the finals. White to Norton. Norton driving them deep. Looking for McCulloch. Spilled out the back, and in the end, Wright takes the mark. It's dropped nicely for him. And Sam Wright can try and cut it back to 26 points. The Demons getting a couple late on here. The pressure valve just released a tad from the Roos. Wright hangs it out to the right, and he misses. Sums up the second half, really, for the Demons. Hasn't quite been good enough as the Roos launch it towards Garland. See your bodies, off hands out the back. Walker trying to charge on through. Ryan brings him down. No prior, it'll be tossed up. Holmes and Jackson, Preshaw, Harper burrowing in. Jackson playing for the high free kick. Umpire not having it. Jackson thought he had it, but the umpire telling him no, toss it up. He'll battle with Holmes instead. Holmes did well. He's kicked straight into the back there of Spencer White. Back in, Holmes out of the ruck. A little too much there, Noah Holmes. Well, that's got to be a high contact free kick. Sandrick just slipping above the shoulder there. But Protney to take it at half back. He'll send it down the line. McGee and Garland there. Garland almost took the juggling mark. Trying to bust on through here is Whitelaw, but he's met by Tilbury. And Keeling to bring him to a halt. Slapped down by Jackson to Norton. Bigham there. Jumper grab spotted. It'll go to Baxter Norton. Impressive in the wet today, Baxter Norton. His skills have really stood out in a pretty scrappy contest. But Protney tries to bust on through. Preshaw trying to turn away with a burst of speed. Sandrick in there for the Demons. Howlett trying to get a hold of him. Oh, in some trouble here is Payne. He's caught with it and he's thrown it. And a free kick will go the way of the Roos. It'll be Ryan. He just stabs it short. Umpire says not 15. Norton has to get up and play on. He does that. Charge down by White, who follows up his effort, tumbles it forward. Lefebvre giving chase. He tumbles it off the deck too, but in the end it ends up with Anderton. He goes back inside to Whitelaw. Whitelaw. They're all lining up at half forward here. Holmes did well to shield it for Paprotny. He moved it on nicely and charging in on goal. And having a shot here is Howlett. And he drives it through for the Roos. That's a lovely goal from Kieran Howlett. And they extend their lead right on the final siren to 37 points. With the final kick of the game, Kieran Howlett puts a cherry on top of the cake. And Clarence run out 37-point victors, 13-9-87 to beat North Hobart 7-8-50. For a quarter and 20 minutes, it was a really tight battle. It was shaping as a contest that could go down to the wire, but then the Roos made their move late in the second term. They kicked 3 straight in the final 5 minutes or so of that quarter in red time. It was a long quarter, went for 34 minutes. And then in the third term, kicked 4 goals to none. And that really sealed it up. A pretty even contest in the last term, but the result was already well beyond doubt. The Roos emerge victorious, secure their spot in the top 4, and deal a potentially mortal blow to the Demons' finals hopes. They're going to have to really just about run the gauntlet in the second half of the season now as we tick towards finals. But Clarence, yeah, the Chockies here today at a very wet, a very rainy North Hobart Oval. Conditions certainly not as picturesque as they were 7 days early. Clarence won't care though. They get the victory. And they open up an 8-point buffer to Lauderdale, given their defeat at the hands of Launceston. I've been Andrew Cooling, calling the action on the live stream for AFL Tasmania. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage. Until next week, it's bye for now.